little bit of AEW, not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just the headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Rock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy, and he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and finally we had a wrestling match. Finally we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside the ring the whole time. One of them
was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man, I would say, like, for me, like, the best ones, I would say, are, like, the ones where they try to get a certain, like, time.
This is my entire IT team right here on stream. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WrestleChat with Vince McShare. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nation Network. This is WrestleChat, and as you can tell by the thumbnail, it's a little bit of doom and gloom, I think, because things not looking so good on the horizon. People have been concerned about the direction of not just wrestling, but specifically the WWE ever since joining forces with TKO. We didn't know what to expect. There was potential there. I feel like the potential's not heading in the right direction whatsoever, and I know I'm not alone in that. So with that in mind, help me welcome my guest, the one, the only, my sidekick, J-Rocks, coming into the house. Wait a moment. We have a new setup here. There it goes. Say hello, Jay.
Hello, Jay.
Okay. As soon as you said hello, your camera cut off. Thought it was me for a moment, but no, it's not. All right. Once again, we are no longer using StreamYard, so there's some growing pains here, and we're figuring things out as we go, but it's all good right now. So, yeah, what we're going to talk about. TKO is really taking the fun out of being a WWE fan, but it's even putting a damper on the overall wrestling experience, I feel. And I know Jay and I had a conversation the other night, which was a little startling, I got to say. Yeah. Jay's kind of in a desperate point of, well, I'll let you tell your story, man. What did you know, I had sent you the clip. If you didn't, for those that did watch NXT, you'll know what I'm talking about. Right. I sent the clip of Nia once again hurting somebody because she doesn't know how to control her fat ass. And what Lash took on that first Annihilator was ridiculous. And the fact that the bitch did it a second time, and you could see she wasn't laid out for it because she's hurt. She rolled off to her side, and Nia still got her shit in. I fucking hate that bitch. But anyway, I sent the clip of it to Jay immediately, and he's like, oh, I'm not even watching it anymore. I'm pretty much checked out. So go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, I just hit a point with WWE in general. It's like I was telling Vince 10 years ago when shit started going south in wrestling, and it wasn't. If it's not enjoyable for me to fucking watch it, if I'm feeling like it's a chore just to have to watch it, I'm not going to watch it. What have I been watching instead of wrestling? I'm rewatching the fucking Walking Dead. I started at the beginning. I'm in the last season, and I'm a lot happier watching that than I am the current product. And it's not even so much the product; it's the fact that if I want to go to a show, I gotta mortgage a house. If I want to buy anything, I gotta mortgage a fucking house. And now on top of it, you want me to pay $520 something like that a year starting next year just to watch your fucking product? Fuck off. No. I remember back in the day when everybody's like, well, you paid $30 for pay-per-views back in the day. Yeah, but I got to watch all the programming on fucking TV for free. I didn't have to pay to watch their weekly shows, the Saturday show, the Sunday Night Heat, none of that shit.
And even then, with the
And now you want me
pay-per-views,
I got to pay this subscriber.
yeah, but the pay-per-views were for a year. You had the 4 pay-per-views. You didn't, and then they started bringing in the in-your-house ones, which were cheaper. But it wasn't like every month was a pay-per-view. Like now, there's every month there's 1 or 2 pay-per-views. Well, they're PLEs. Call them what you will. But
the point was, I didn't mind. Right. The point was, I didn't mind paying that back then because that's all I was paying for the product. Now it's like I gotta have Netflix, and I'm gonna have to have ESPN, and now I don't know. I don't even have cable, so I don't watch SmackDown because I don't have fucking USA. I'm not paying another $27 a month just to have USA to watch SmackDown. And now you want me to have to pay ESPN $40 a month just to see the pay-per-views? I'm not doing it. I'm not. Because it's becoming more of a job for me to have to watch it because I'm putting that money out instead of being something I enjoyed as a kid watching it growing up. I'm just, like I said, Vince, 10 years ago, I walked away for about 10 years. It's not a deal. It's not an issue for me to fucking walk away again till they get their heads out of their asses and make it fan affordable again, because I'm not paying. I work too fucking hard for my money to have to shell out $500 and some a year just to watch one product.
And that's kind of what we're. By the way,
that's my story.
You're freezing up occasionally, and your audio's kind of garbling once in a while. But it seems like it's a little bit better in the last minute. I don't know if there's anything on your end that you can do, but I'm just letting you know that momentarily it kind of froze.
We got us. We're on the edge of a huge storm here in Ohio. So
aha, well, that'll do it.
It's going to be kind of iffy for us.
Well, look at you, man. We're always on the side edge of a storm in Florida, man. There's no off season for us. All right. Well, so he said these things.
The last couple years, we've had a lot of bad storms.
Yeah. So Jay was telling me this stuff yesterday, and the funny thing is that I was in my own mind, and I'd said, maybe a week or so ago in general during one of the streams I was doing or whatever it was. But the cost now, and there was a guy, I wasn't sure I was going to talk about this, but I will. He put it out on YouTube. He's got a YouTube channel. I don't remember his name, and even if I did, I wouldn't, do this. But the video was I spent $18,000 on SummerSlam seats. I've got a huge problem. Look, you got money, you spend it whatever you want, I guess. But I've got a real problem.
Right.
With any person, and I know the place was full, so there's a lot of persons I got a problem with, I guess. Spending $18,000 to watch wrestling. Now, granted, that was a 2-day ticket, and it came with all the VIP bullshit, but $9,000 a day for wrestling? Yeah. If I won the lottery tomorrow and came away with $5 million after taxes, I wouldn't spend $18,000 on tickets for SummerSlam. Just based on the principle. It's theater. That's all it is. At the end of the day, is it entertaining? Usually. And do I enjoy it? I did more than I do. And like you said, it's not the product that's a problem. It's the taste in my mouth. Because of all the shit they're shoving down there. Right. And we're going to show something up here in a minute. I've already said it. I don't have Netflix. I'm not getting Netflix. And I stopped watching Raw, which I never thought would happen. And I'm fine. I wait till the next morning and I watch YouTube where they condense it to 10 minutes, which is so much more palatable. And anything I need to know, I now know. This guy, $18,000, here's where I really lost my shit with him. He's there, and he's got the phone out, and he's row number 2 and all that crap. And here comes Paul Heyman. And he's like, I'll be honest with you, I have no idea why Paul Heyman has a pair of sneakers around his neck. I don't care. You don't know why he's wearing sneakers, and you're paying $9,000 a day? You don't know that he stole Roman. Well, he didn't steal Roman's shoes, but
Show.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't know the product
Right.
and you're paying $9,000. You got issues in my book. That's just my take on this guy is like I would never subscribe to that channel just based on that alone. Just the way it sat with me. That not only are you throwing $9,000 away per day, but you're not even familiar with the product. And here's the kicker. He's not a bright guy neither, right? Because he was staying in a mediocre hotel. And by car would have been probably a 30-minute drive, 20-minute drive, somewhere in that ballpark. Okay. Mind you, where did SummerSlam take place?
See, I don't even remember now.
It was New York, was it not? Or was it California? It was one of the... California, wasn't it?
New York. It was New Jersey. New Jersey.
Oh,
New
that's
Jersey.
worse. Yeah, that's right. Jersey. Okay.
Yeah.
This dude couldn't get an Uber because it was a 2-hour wait to get an Uber. Decided to walk back to his hotel. Where do they put major stadiums in the United States? In the shittiest neighborhoods in the world because that's where the land is cheapest. And guess what you get as a souvenir for $9,000? A fucking steel chair with pictures of the wrestlers on it. You imagine now at 10, 11 o'clock at night walking through the streets of Jersey toting a steel chair. And
Actually, that might.
his phone battery died along the way. I mean, you got no communication. You're by yourself, not even with a friend. And I'm like, dude, you got some serious fucking problems.
I don't know. Me carrying a steel chair through the fucking slums of Jersey might be kind of intimidating, actually.
Maybe you, but this guy's not intimidating. You could have a Uzi and he wouldn't be intimidating. He looked like a complete mark. Oh, my goodness. Real quick, shout out to Miracles here. Andrew Roberts here. We have Just Andrew, which is separate from other Andrew. And Infrared, my brother from another mother in the house. What's happening, brother? So what we are talking about here is the fact that the WWE has let corporate greed destroy the experience of professional wrestling. Like Jay said earlier, the taste is not really good right now, and when you don't like something, you stop eating it. And I'm getting to the point now.
I like my food.
Yeah, well, I like food too, but I don't like this food. And it sucks because
what
I
I'm
like the
saying.
talent.
Yeah.
I like the talent,
Yeah.
most of it. Removing Nia Jax here and there would help. But, man, oh, man, I'm just... I don't get where they're... I do get where they're going with it. I mean, obviously, it's all money, money, money. And it's reminding me, I mean, the corporate greed at this point in time, all around, I mean, it's always been there, but now it's just unabashedly in your face. You've got things like Disney. They got to the point where we can't control these lines. They're too long. The Fast Pass isn't working anymore. I know. We will double the price of admission so that only the rich people can afford to come, and then the lines will be shorter. So they've priced out the middle-income people and certainly the lower-income people, even though it was supposed to be a family park. So that's done. And that's kind of what I see the WWE doing. I mean, you can hardly blame them. If somebody's willing to pay you $9,000 a night, would you be stupid to say, no, we're going to go with just, $800?
No, trust me. Being a businessman, I get it. But also being a consumer for this product for the last, Jesus Christ, I'll be 52 on Sunday. So for the last 42 years, for me to feel this way, it's sad. You're right. You said it to me. You're like, wow, I can't believe that. But it's true. It's like, I don't feel valued because, like you said, I don't make that kind of money to spend on it, and that's who their focus group is now. By all means, have at it. When they fucking leave and dry up and your arenas look like fucking AEW, I might be back then. Maybe. We'll see. But as of right now, I hate to say it, but I'm done. I'm done with, and it sucks because how much I've loved wrestling, I don't want to watch clips of it. I was telling you earlier, I was scrolling through TikTok. Shit would come up for wrestling. I just scroll past it. I am so pissed off. I'm so upset. I'm so disenfranchised, or whatever you want to call it, that I don't even want to see clips of it. Because you've hurt me as a fan, because you're saying, if I can't pay this, we don't value you. Well, guess what? If you don't value me like an ex-girlfriend, you can suck a bag of dicks and I'm out. I'm good.
Yeah, what he said.
You're not going to hurt my feelings.
Well, when you talk about the money part, you can't talk about it without looking at it. So here is, and I think you sent me this if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I did.
What it costs you now, once this whole package kicks in another few months, to watch the same WWE programming that we've been watching. Remember back in the day, I think there was a $9.99. What'd you get for $9.99? Oh yeah, fucking everything.
Oh, you get everything.
Everything.
Even that, when that was out, when they had the network, I bought that shit.
We all did.
Good.
One-stop shopping.
I was so happy.
One-stop shopping, had everything you wanted. They had it well organized. And while the rollout to Peacock wasn't super smooth, it wasn't terrible. And, now they've got it laid out a little bit nicer now that they're getting ready to lose it. But, yeah, you've got over here, you got Netflix for Raw, and that's $7.99 a month just for Raw. And nobody watches the old episodes.
Right. If you get the ones with the commercials, it's more if you have the non-commercial Netflix.
And they only have the Netflix Raws that they have. They don't have the legendary Raws. They don't have the Attitude and all that stuff. So it's not like you're going to go back and watch Raw history.
They're slowly adding them, but still, it's not like Peacock where I watched the very first episode of ECW all the way to the very last episode they did.
Yep. Then you've got your USA Peacock and for SmackDown. Now, this depends. I mean, how many people still have cable? I'm one of them. I know I'm in the minority nowadays, and I'm getting dangerously close to cutting the cord, which I never thought I would do in a million years. And the only reason I don't is living in the state of Florida, and we're getting ready to come up on hurricane season again. I have gone through many a hurricane, and the cable did not go out. And that was my way of knowing what was happening, where the storm's at, and all that kind of stuff. And I've been really, really fortunate that, back in the day it was Bright House, and then they bought out by Spectrum or whatever it is. But whatever it is here in Central Florida, we've been blessed to keep our cable. And if I had to rely just on internet, I feel like I might end up being blindsided and not knowing what's happening during a major storm. So that's right now the main reason why I have any form of cable at this point, but I may be really cutting it down just to the major networks, and that's it. Because I'm so perfectly fine of just watching the highlights on YouTube. I'm actually preferring it. You know what? As we get older, that's what it comes down to, I think, is time versus reward. As you get older, it might sound a little cryptic, but you start to think, how much more time I got left? And how much do I want to spend wasting on a TV show or a movie or a wrestling show? You're going to be 52 on Sunday, right? Happy birthday. I'm a little older than you. I'm at that point where I don't know if I want to buy green bananas, Delayed reaction. It's all good. But yeah, for depending how you get USA. So right now I have USA as part of my package. I have Peacock, which is a separate fee.
Yeah.
So that gives me my options there of getting SmackDown, which I personally like that show better than Raw. I know that's not for everybody, but it is for me. And they're saying it's $10.99 a month. I don't know if I'm paying that much as part of my package with the cable box and all that. Then we get to ESPN. I got rid of ESPN many, many, many years ago when Disney bought them out, and then ESPN, which I thought was supposed to be Sports Programming Network, had their afternoon shows, and they were talking politics and shit. And I'm like, no. I got CNN for this bullshit. You all are supposed to be just talking about the baseball game, the football game. Fuck you. I'm done. And a lot of people did. Again, Disney has lost. They've hemorrhaged money. ESPN was borderline canceled.
Yeah.
And they're still not doing well. So now they're going to force feed you to go over to ESPN to watch the WWE. And they want roughly about $30 a month for that. And what are we getting for that again?
The PLEs.
Just the PLEs.
That's it.
At
Just
$30
the
a
PLEs.
month. Now, you're getting the other ESPN stuff, but I don't watch it. I haven't watched a Super
and
Bowl.
that-
I haven't watched a World Series. I haven't watched a Stanley Cup. I don't watch the shit.
And that was the point in the last stream that you did. I believe it was Infrared who said, well, you get all the other sports. I don't watch any of the other sports. I'm not a sports guy.
That's why I
So
like $9.99.
Right. So for me, that's not a selling point. I don't give a shit about football games, baseball games, hockey games, whatever. I don't watch enough of it to justify having ESPN. So you saying I got to go there to watch PLEs, just put it back on actual pay-per-view and I'll just buy the fucking pay-per-view. And not only that, they're owned by Disney. I'm not supporting Disney. Fuck off on that note too.
Yep. That's why I don't have Hulu also. So I'm at this point right now where I'm kind of thinking about, well, and nothing to do with WWE, really. I mean, I like Peacock. I would never have gone there if it weren't for the WWE, but once I got there, I like a lot of the other stuff they have as well. They have some of my favorite shows.
Absolutely. I'm the same. I'm not. Yeah, I was the same way. I got it because I wanted to watch the wrestling stuff on it. But they have a really nice setup. I like some of the. I love the first season of Twisted Metal. I got to go back and watch the second season now that it's out.
Is the whole season out, or are they doing episodes?
More shit on it that I like.
Is the whole season out, or are they doing one episode at a time every week or so?
One episode every Wednesday, I believe it is.
Yes, I've been waiting. I want to be able to binge it, so I'm waiting another week or so, and then I'll start.
That's what I've held off on too. Yeah.
Yeah, I did enjoy season one very much, so I'm looking forward.
But that's the thing. They got other stuff on there, so I'll keep it. So if I'm keeping that and you're moving your other shit, I'm not picking up another bill just because you decided you wanted to fucking move. The whole point is Disney outbid Peacock. Or if Peacock would
by a lot
give you this much more, it would have it would have fucking stayed. So again, it comes down. Disney offered them more money. Where they're getting this fucking money, I don't know. If I was Disney's fucking investors, I'd be like, what the fuck? You're spending shit we don't have, but that's neither here nor there. The fact is, I'm not picking up another $40 bill to have another service to watch one thing once a month. It's just, no, it's not happening.
No, it is getting very pricey there. And then you watch last year's WrestleMania, and it was so bad. And then you watch SummerSlam. Other than a couple of pop moments at the end of each night, what did you really have? Where's the match that you'll be talking about 5 years from now?
Not a lot.
I got nothing. But again, these people are willing to drop this money, and it's going to be really hard. Corporate greed is a real deal, man. These people just cannot be satisfied. It's a thirst that cannot be quenched. And as long as people, I bring this up. Back when the NFL was taking knees for the anthem and people finally got fed up and they're burning their jerseys, burning their season tickets, and I said, they're all going to go running back as soon as kickoff comes in the fall. And they did. There was never an empty stadium. Never.
Yep.
Because even if they burned their season tickets and their jerseys and they didn't go back, they filled that seat with the next brain dead turd. That's all there is to it. We have become a culture that allows entertainment to dictate to us, and we foster into it. If everybody would have followed my lead 20 years ago and just said no, Nancy Reagan, I think, taught us that. It might have been about something different, but it works on this too. I just said no to all sports. Turned it off. Which I
First clown, he would know.
yeah. I mean, 20 years ago, I couldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I was a junkie for all this shit, right? But then I finally got fed up. You canceling the Stanley Cup. You canceling the World Series. That, to me, was sacrilege. You canceled the World Series over money. Going on strike. I'm like,
Right.
done. I am done. I am done. If everybody would have sat 12 months out of all sports, just one calendar year, and that's never going to happen. So let's say 80%, 70% would have just sat out and not gone to any professional sport. You'd be going right now to a Lakers game for $30.
Yep.
Courtside, $50. They would be earning as a salary. Now, what you get on, Nike sales and all that, that's different. But so far as an NBA salary, you'd be pulling in, if you're a top player, about $700,000. Regular players, maybe $150,000. $150,000 to play a fucking game? Shut up, you're doing fine. Anybody out there making $150,000 this year? I'm not.
Nope.
And I assure you, my job is just as good a contribution as anyone swinging a stick at a ball. But until the fans are willing to say no in mass, never going to change. And when you go and you support this, you are part of the problem.
It's the same mentality for this as it is for the game. You want to bitch and bitch and bitch about the game being fucked up and this, that, and the other, but you keep fucking buying it. Did I buy it this year? Fuck no. I didn't even enter to try to win that bitch for free. I stood my ground. I said, I'm not doing it. And now it's the same way with their actual shows. I'm not doing it. I'm tired of being fucking bullied. And that's how I feel. I feel like I'm being told, you got to do this or else. Guess what? I'll take the or else. I'll watch fucking Walking Dead through and through for the next fucking 5 years till you get your heads out of your asses and I decide to come back. Or, like we said last night, I ain't watched Breaking Bad in forever. I'll fucking watch that next.
Yeah, talking to Jay last night has made me realize it's like I got
pull out
both.
my old DVD.
I've got both both series. There you go on DVD. I do need to pick up like the last 2 seasons of Walking Dead, but I've got all of Breaking Bad, which I did sit through that about a year ago, and rewatched all of that, including El Camino. You've seen El Camino?
No, I have seen Better Call Saul.
All right, El Camino. El Camino, I think, is on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a 2-hour movie of what happened after. So it's got Jesse in there, and well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but from literally picks up at the end of the series.
So you're saying I need to go watch the whole series again and then do that?
I look at it this way. We're not getting any younger. I would watch El Camino just in case. It sucked to sit through the whole series again and then dropped out of a coronary.
Well, that's true, but you know.
Let's see what the people are saying here. Miracle thinks the second one looks safe. Oh, my goodness. The second one looks safe. Well, first off, you're admitting that first one was tragic, and it was the worst of the worst. The onus, it was a dangerous spot, mostly because of who's involved. A competent wrestler would have been okay, but it's not. It's Nia. And Lash had her up in like a power bomb position, and then was supposed to just like crumble under the weight, which is believable, and fall straight down. And they were in the corner area, and then Nia lands on top of her. Because you're in the corner area, Nia, you're supposed to grab the 2 fucking ropes so that you don't kill her. But of course you can't.
Right.
You can't. Because you never do. All you do is fucking land on people, because what do you give a shit? Your cousin is The Rock. You're not getting fired. Fat bitch. She crushed her. Her hands never
I know.
touched the ropes.
Nope.
And-
It made me think of who was it Rhea that she did that to?
Everyone she's done that to.
Well, I mean, you sent me a clip a little while back. of
She
her
did it to
doing
Becky.
again.
She did it to,
Becky,
and I
that's
think
who
she
it
did
was.
it to Tiffany.
Yeah, but it was the Becky one because like you said, you were like she didn't grab the ropes. I'm like, and I had to watch it a couple of times. She didn't.
That
You
was
go back and watch any.
that
if
was
you go
soon
watch
after her
any-
return too.
Right. Yeah. But if you go back and watch any of Rikishi's matches, he always, if nothing else, he grabs the middle ropes to slow himself down.
Fucking Yokozuna.
Always. Yeah.
If anyone's gonna have a challenge with gravity, it would be Yokozuna. You didn't see him doing that to anyone. This fucking bitch I just can't stomach her. I just can't. How anyone gets in the ring with her, I don't know. And then,
That's what I was saying.
if she wouldn't have botched the move, let's say, okay, she grabs the two ropes, and lands on her, and all goes according to the correct plan, then Lash would have stayed laid out on the mat with her shoulders down for the second sumo squash. I'm not going to call it an annihilator. It's a sumo squash the way she fucking does it. Well, that didn't happen because you fucking hurt her. And she's clutching her chest and her ribs, and she rolls off onto her side. Does that stop the bitch from executing the second one? Nope. Drops another one on her. She's fucking reckless. I said it a year ago. I'm surprised I haven't had to been right yet, and I hope I'm not, but I got a feeling I'm going to be. She going to kill somebody. She is going to kill somebody. She is absolutely out of control. So I don't believe the second will look safe at all. You might want to look at that again, Miracle. Not a chance.
If I was Lash, I'd have stuck my elbow up and made sure it went where it needed to go.
Yeah, give her another chance to say, my hole.
And that's it,
Fat bitch. She is a hole. Miracle says, I'm glad that we can rely on the highlight show on YouTube to catch up. Rely on, that's all I have. I am not paying for Netflix no matter what. No Netflix for me. The only way I would even entertain it is if they had all of the WWE content. Because then I'd have to drop other stuff. And just,
Right.
That's the only way it would even cross my mind. But obviously it's never going to happen because they're not going to have the PLEs.
Right.
So, but like I said, I'm thinking about, man, this is a dawn for me because I've always watched the PLEs one way or another when they were pay-per-views or what have yous. And now I won't, but then I'm like, gosh damn it. They're like 2 days long, which I've been bitching about that. They're 3 hours each day, and that's just the show itself, not counting the pre-shows and the post this and that.
Right.
By the way, they've made it clear they're not doing any more news conferences. There was another girl who has a channel. I'd never seen her before, but I guess she's kind of in a Denise Salcedo mode where she has a lot of WWE content or wrestling content, and she secured press passes for the event. She's been at several of them over the last few years since they started doing the press conference, and told the story of how they found out that they canceled the press conferences. And it was basically they found out through social media while they were there on night one. And then they're going up to like one of the PR people there. It's like, hey, is this true? They're not doing no, they're not going to do the press. Sorry. And it really just disheartened. There was like 12 of them there, and they all just felt like crushed over this. And then they went back the second day, and they weren't even really, like she said, I really didn't even want to be there at this point. I felt like I got the carpet yanked out from under me. And they're all sitting there going, is it because of they were thinking it had something to do with Vince or it had something to do with, the lawsuit? And they asked, I guess, that same PR person, no, it had nothing to do with that. And then all of a sudden Brock comes out. She's like, oh, we all know why we're not having a press conference now. They need to control the narrative. It's that simple.
Right.
But yeah, she wasn't happy, and I guess none of those folks were because they went out there with the. Now, like she said, I'm extremely appreciative of the fact that I got to be there for free and I had a press box. So you saved $18,000. Think more about this other schmuck, you know. And I bet she didn't have to walk down the street with a friggin' steel chair in her hand either.
But then again, you look at it from their point of view. They went out there to do what they consider their job because they all have these channels and things like that. That's how they make their money.
That's what she said.
To get out there, and then I got no content because you decided on a whim because you. Not saying nothing about Brock. I love Brock to death. I really do. I've always loved him. All the other bullshit aside, it's what it is. But to cancel that without giving them notice and saying, "Hey, you still get all this for free. We're just not going to do it." Just to show up there and then go, "Oh, we can't let you. We're not doing it. Sorry." I'd be fucking pissed.
Well, it sounds like they were.
You think you think I'm ranting now? Let me go and spend my time, again, spending my time to go out there so I can do what I consider my job, and you take away my ability to do that. You're fucking with my money at that point, and I don't like my money being fucked with. So, I would have been
Yep, they was. Miracle also says same thing happened in Canada. We had the network paying $11.90 for it. $11.90. Now we no longer have the network. I'm not sure what $11.90 is.
$11.90.
Oh yeah, I guess the Canadian
$9.99.
Yeah, with the Canadian transfer of currency. No longer have the network and have it on Netflix. So that brings up the next point, which is going to lead to the next point. Getting those, what the fuck is it called now? The thing that hides your internet. VPN. Yep. As soon as I thought of it, you said it. The VPNs, you get a VPN thing that kind of scrambles you up, and you can be going from any place in the United States or outside the United States. And that's the key, because once you leave the United States, you can get all of that shit on Netflix. The whole shebang, including the PLEs. But what I say is this. There's a lot of Elons in this world. Smart Doge motherfuckers. And now Disney's got a hand in the pie. They are going to pay big balls to figure a way to make sure your VPN does not work. It might take them a few months. It might take them a year. I will be shocked if 12 months from now you can use a VPN to get Netflix.
In the United States.
Yeah, in the United States from outside. I'll be shocked. They didn't give a shit when people were doing it with the network so much, but now you're talking about Netflix money.
Yeah. And my whole thought on that is, again, why do I have to jump through another hoop just to watch all your shit?
Well, my answer to that would be, so it's $8 with commercials. What is Netflix if I don't want to sit through the bullshit? A month?
$24.99.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's why that's why I pay the $7.99 and have the commercials. I don't care about a couple commercials. I'm not paying 5 times the amount or 3 times the amount just to not have to worry about commercials.
So for $7.99, you watch a movie like the new Adam Sandler thing, which is supposed to really suck, the Happy Gilmore 2. You got commercials during the movie or just before and after?
For a movie like that, I had 5 commercials back to back in the beginning.
Uh-huh.
And that was it.
So you get to watch the movie uninterrupted.
Yeah. Like
all right.
watching I'm watching Walking Dead on there too. So it's like it'll go halfway through the show, I'll have 3 commercials and then watch the rest of the show.
I guess.
But I'm okay with that, because if I was watching it on regular TV,
yeah, I know.
Anyway,
but I'm not watching it on regular TV. I'm paying for it.
I know, but the point is, it's like I'm not going out. I'm not going to run around in circles trying to find a way to watch their shit.
Well,
It's
I feel
not-
like I wouldn't be running around in circles. I would have one outlet, and that's it. Now, I'm not an expert on any of this shit. Is there a fee for a VPN? How does that work? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea.
I'm going to be relying on my cousin, who is a genius at this kind of shit. So I told him when I went to Hogan's wrestling shop here in Orlando the day after he passed, and I was showing him what they had there. He said, well, get me a shirt. And I said, oh, I got you. He says, I'll send you the money. I said, no, you'll make it up to me later. So this is how he's going.
We'll make it up to you.
Yeah, he's going to get me all set up with a VPN. Is that what he's going to end up doing? So,
I think there is a fee for it. I'm not sure how much it is, but a lot of streamers that I watch, JD from New York, Solo Monster, guys that I'd get wrestling news from, they always promote the VPNs because that's what
Right.
they use to watch all the wrestling. I'm guessing if they've got them as sponsors, there's a fee for it. So
yeah, there has to. And that's the thing now. So if I add that to $7.99, where am I at? You know, that's the things I'm looking for. But
yeah,
if I do that and I have access to the entire WWE library through Netflix doing it that way, then I probably look at getting rid of Peacock. What am I paying for that? I don't even know. I got to look that up. I know it's gone up since I bought it or initially subscribed to it, but I don't know what it is today.
I pay $15.99 a month for Peacock.
And you have commercials?
No,
Okay, because then I say I know I don't have commercials. I just don't know how much it's costing me. But that's my point. I've got cable. I mean, something gonna have to go. I might finally just say cable's completely gone. Just give me the internet. Hope for the best.
well, here's something. You want to know when I got rid of cable? When the WWE Network came out. I stopped having cable because I'm like, I have cable to watch wrestling. It's all right here now. I don't need fucking cable.
Infrared
That
brings
tells
up
you
a
how
good
long ago
point.
I-
Infrared brings up a good point, which I forgot. I'd heard, again, there was so much talk about the WWE and what part's going here, what part's going there, and how much is this going to cost, that the archives is actually going to be a separate bid at some point in time.
What I tell you last night, you mentioned that, and I said we'll see because I guarantee you, if enough money's tossed at them, they'll move that shit too. I
Well,
said that to you
here's the
last
thing.
night.
The vault doesn't have the same content, the same amount of content that you get with Peacock when you go into their version of the vault, okay?
Right. Yeah.
At the same time, they got a lot of shit. The WWE wants to keep their YouTube presence. They're not going to sacrifice that. And that's a good way. I mean, I think the vault as it exists now will always be there. Now, you get a lot of stuff there. You don't get everything there. If you want more or a more complete or a more robust archive collection, then, yeah, you're going to have to go to either Peacock right now or whoever it may be next. I know Peacock does not want to lose that. There's just no way they want to lose that because God knows how many people they got. They got you and me because of WWE, and I'm willing to bet if they got both of us, they got a bunch of others that didn't have them prior.
If they somehow manage to keep that, like you said, I will watch that shit all day long. I will go back. Like I said, I've already watched ECW from the very first episode all the way through. I'll go back and watch all the fucking start at Raw #1 and work my way through and just do that shit and not worry about them right now.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I'm
I like
enjoying
the-
watching the older stuff better now. I mean, I've always enjoyed it better overall, the experience I had watching that versus what I have today. But I was watching more of the current day product up until about a year ago, maybe a little less, somewhere in there. And then you get these events like WrestleMania this last year and how bad it was. And it just drives you to the better days. And since Hogan passed, I have been living in the 80s and early 90s.
Right.
Just watching all the shit that they put out there when they were, I don't know if they still have it running now, probably not, but they had the Hulk Hogan collection that was just nonstop Hogan matches. It just kept on going. And, man,
Right.
they had some, I mean, there's the matches we've all seen 100 times, but they also had some dark matches that never aired before. I actually saw him against Flair. They never announced what city it was from, but this was when Flair had the actual big gold. It hadn't been taken back yet, so it's early in his WWE. Hogan was the champion, hadn't lost it yet. And I got to see them as part of a TV taping, which this was. It was Wrestling Challenge. I saw the banners up there, and I can't recall now if what I went to was Wrestling Challenge or not. But it was in Daytona at the Ocean Center, and that's you're going to draw there because Flair's a Southern guy.
Right.
And I remember them saying the reason they didn't pull the trigger at WrestleMania was that when they did these house shows, the reaction wasn't good. I remember it being a pretty good reaction, but again, we're in Daytona. The reaction on this particular match was not that good. And that's making me think, okay, it's probably not the one I was at. They probably did it at a few different places. But it had to be relatively early on because he still had the big gold belt. That's my point. And they used to tape a whole month of TV at once. So if I saw it and there was a whole month of TV, did he have the belt for over a month before they took it back? It was pretty soon after he got there.
Yeah.
They might have had time to do one more TV taping, but they never said what city they were in. I wish they would have because I'm curious. What else did we have here? Whoopsie. Jumped way ahead on that one. Went to see Dynamite in Cleveland last week. What a fun show. Some moments had the ECW feel. Kevin Davis. Yeah, Kevin, everything is ECW with these guys because they just throw shit again, caution against the wind and shit against the fan. And I just can't watch AEW. Can't do it. Infrared says he sat out 2 years of the NFL because of Kaepernick's nonsense. You went back, though, which is fine. I'm just not going back. I ain't never going back. Same way I'm never going to have a Bud Light again the rest of my life. Not going to have it. I'll drink water, which is almost the same anyway. Haven't bought any Cleveland Browns merchandise since that turd storm of 2020. Okay. Since I don't watch NFL anymore and haven't for over 15 years, I'm not sure what turd storm you're referring to in 2020. I mean, we had the pandemic going on. How did that affect the Cleveland Browns in 2020? Is there something you know about? Nothing? All right.
No, like I said, I'm not a big sports guy.
Yeah, all right, Kevin, you're going to have to elaborate for those of us that don't give a shit about the football. I thought you were going to talk about when they moved to Baltimore and all that crap, and I was like, man, that was a dirty, dirty thing they did there. One thing I'll say about...
The only
Yeah.
I was going to say, the only thing I can think of for the Browns is there was this big thing about them wanting to have to change their name when they were making all the teams change their names. And what came down for it is...
Why would they have to change the Cleveland Browns? It's a color.
They were referring to black people for it.
Since when did that...
That was the excuse.
When did that ever happen?
I know, but you know why they didn't change it?
Because they got fucking balls.
Well, the team came out and said, no, we're named after the guy who founded us. His last name was Brown. And that's why they're the Cleveland Browns. And
their thing is a dog pound. It's all about dogs and shit. These people, I tell you what, the good news is we have American Eagle genes to tell everyone to go fuck themselves. And because they've made hundreds of millions of dollars telling the blue people to fuck themselves, everyone else is falling in line now and going back to the good old days. We don't give a fuck about you blue-haired people. Stick an M80 up your ass and light it. Haven't bought any Cleveland Browns merch since that's strong. Okay, $20 without commercials. He's laughing, says Infrared.
Yeah.
Miracle says, during the movie No, however. Oh, he's talking about commercials. During the movie, no. However, before and after the movie, yes, I believe, here in Canada.
After, yeah.
So Canada's kind of in the same boat.
Right.
There is a fee for a VPN, and I'm sure it's going to be different for each one. VPN is through Norton, says Infrared. So, Infrared, what's it running you for VPN through Norton? Is ExpressVPN any good? Ask Kevin Davis. I don't know. I don't know nothing. Miracle, that's exactly what I'm doing now and been doing, quite frankly. I'm guessing he's referring to the VPN. Are you watching all the Raws from... Oh, he's rewatching the Raws from the beginning of 2017. Let me try again. Are you watching all the Raws from the beginning to 2017?
That's what I plan on doing, yes.
Got you. All the Saturday night main events. I tell you what, I love falling down the Saturday night main event rabbit hole. Always starting with the first one. With Mr. T and Cyndi Lauper still hanging around. And man, those was the good old fucking days.
Well, that's the thing. Shit happened there, and you expected it to happen. Not like it is now, where it's a glorified fucking house show. The main events were special. They preempted fucking Saturday Night Live for them.
And did better ratings.
They made it special.
It did better ratings.
Yes.
By the way, everybody, do me a favor. Hit the damn like button. Got 34 people watching and only got one like. That makes me hurt, man. That gets deep in the feels. Come on, man. Show brother some love already. Gosh damn it. I don't know how many times I got to say this shit, man. If you like the content creators out there that you watch, just click a button. It's a little act, but it goes a long way. What's he got here? Infrared says, I went back because... Oh, he went back to watching NFL because he settled, but the product still isn't the same at all. I wouldn't know. And him settling wasn't the issue. It's the league allowing their players, long after Kaepernick, allowing them to take knees for the national anthem. You will find a motherfucker in the NFL if his sock goes 1 inch below his knee pad. Even if it happened during the play of a game. If they don't immediately pull it up, you're going to find a fucker like $5,000 for that. But you have no problem with them kneeling for the national anthem. Bye. I'm out. Miracle, all the WCW Nitros and Thunders. Oh, come on, man. Nobody watches Thunder. Come on. JCP from the late 85 to mid-July of 89. That's a lot of shit right there. ECW's Hardcore TV from 93 to 2000. Not to mention all the pay-per-views from WWF, WCW, ECW. We all need to get lives.
Well, see, that's the thing. When I watched the ECW from beginning to end, when they started doing the pay-per-views, when they would advertise them on the weekly show, I would stop, go watch the pay-per-view, and then go back to the series and watch. I watched it all in order. I even watched Heat Wave from Dayton, Ohio, which that's the only ECW show I have ever been to. Okay. I was there for that night.
I've been to probably live. I want to say 3. For sure 3. All here in Florida. Florida was like their second home for a while. If they left Pennsylvania, they came to Florida because they drew well. Weather's good. And they got away with some sick shit, man. I saw them once here in Kissimmee. That was the most scared I've ever been at a wrestling event. I mean, the Gangsters and the Dudleys, and they went deep in the crowd. And, man, they was just ready to fuck up people that wanted to get involved. I was there in Tampa the night that Sandman and Woman caned the living shit out of Tommy Dreamer, where he said, please give me another. Ooh. I was there for that night. And the other one was, I don't believe, televised in any way, shape, or form, although it may have been, I don't know. It doesn't seem like they would have done too many house shows. I think everything had to be recorded to some degree. But it was over at the Central Florida Fairgrounds off of Colonial Drive. And the one thing I do remember about that was Too Cold Scorpio was on the card. I can't recall who he was getting ready to wrestle, but he got in the ring, of course, cut a promo. And the quote that sticks with me to this day, he said, "Bitch, I will slap you stupid with 10 inches of limp dick." I thought that was a good line. Infrared says $99 for the year. This is talking about the VPN through Norton, but that includes anti-theft, utilities, antivirus. $99 for a whole year is not a bad price.
Right, but am I going to do that just to have Netflix?
Well, if I'm going to get Netflix and I'm going to give up cable and Peacock, I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game.
I'm not though, because I'm paying less for the channels I got now. You're wanting me to pay more.
Oh, I don't want anyone to do anything.
I can't get behind that.
I'm looking at it right now, so I'm paying.
Not saying you in.
Yeah, but I'm saying is I'm paying for cable right now for channels I don't watch. I don't watch any of them. Right. I don't watch ABC. I don't watch NBC. I don't watch CBS. The only thing I ever watch is occasionally AMC because of the Walking Dead stuff. I like the Negan and Maggie spinoff, the Dead City. Can't stand the Daryl thing. That Daryl thing just doesn't work for me.
The second.
No.
The second.
No.
Series to that. What?
You talking about the second season of Daryl?
No. The second season of Dead City should be coming out shortly.
They've already had 2 seasons. I thought they were working on third. I've already watched 2 seasons.
Oh, okay. I'm just behind then.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it's
good.
good.
The second season of it yet.
Like I said, I've enjoyed the New York stuff.
Yeah. But for me, it's like I pay $7.99 for Netflix. I pay $15 for Peacock. I pay $18 for Amazon Prime. So I'm way below that. So I'm going to have to like double my amount to get the VPN and have just Netflix to watch all the programming. It comes down to what is your viewing habits. In my case,
I'd be ahead of the game. In other words, getting all of the WWE stuff, which right now that's all I really watch, is I'm watching the old WWE stuff. I'm watching some of the new stuff.
Right.
And I'm not currently watching Raw. Not that I'm losing any sleep over that. But I'm just saying, if I got to that, losing all the PLEs, you know what? At the end of the day, maybe I just don't give a fuck. That's all. I'm at the point where TNA is getting better. They went through a lull. You know, back in 19, they were really getting good. 20, they kind of lulled out a little because of the pandemic. But then 21, 22, and even into 23.
Right.
Back when Josh Alexander was the champion, they had that match with him and Mike Bailey. They did their TV tapings here in Kissimmee, and they had a really good TV taping. Back when Jordan was starting to become the juggernaut. You know, they were a really solid program to watch. Then they kind of dipsy-doodled a little bit there. But I feel like they're on the comeback now, and being in a partnership with WWE definitely helps that.
I would almost rather dump WWE, pay, I think, what is it? To get the plus package for TNA is $40 a month. I would rather dump WWE, pay just that $40 a month, and get all of TNA, all the old shit, all the pay-per-views, the weekly show, all of it.
And you want to talk about somebody raping us?
Cost.
TNA's fucking TV package, if you want to get all their shit. Damn, it's like WWE said, hold my beer. TNA is an expensive fucking buy if you want to get their package, their version of the network or whatever you want to call it.
Is it?
Oh, it's astronomical. I'm like, for what? Who are you? Well, it includes our library of shit I never want my eyes to see again. All right, hold the phone.
I don't know.
The clown is around. Ancient clown in the house.
I don't know. I could watch the early days of the Asylum. To me, that was the best time for them.
Let's get ready to rumble. Clown says, I just got home from working. Dude, I didn't think you worked anymore. I thought you just sat around the house and puffed. I thought you was living the right life.
Because when I lived,
Damn,
I lived up in New York, was the time that they started doing their weekly pay-per-views, and me and my roommate up there, we actually bought the weekly pay-per-views to watch TNA.
Oh, that's that Wednesday night stuff. I did the first probably 6 weeks, and after that, it's like it's starting to add up. So, Clown, when you get a chance, Clown, you got to watch the stream I did earlier today for SmackDown. I mean, that's all for you, buddy. That's all for you. He says the only wrestling he watches is mine, so I've got you in mind as I'm creating this stuff. But don't be skipping ahead too much because you'll miss key parts if you do. What Miracle says, that's what I plan to do, Jay. Watch everything in order, including the pay-per-views down the line. Guys, that's a lot of hours. I'm just saying, make sure you get some sunlight in between.
Their shows are an hour long, and that's if you don't fast forward through. Like some of their early stuff, I fast forwarded a lot until it got really going, and then I watched the whole show and stuff. But still, I mean, I don't know. It was worth it for me.
Donnell asked me, was there a New Jack match at the ECW shows you went to? There definitely was. It wasn't just New Jack, though. It was the Gangsters. It was New Jack and Mustafa. Yeah. And trust me when I tell you, I don't know which one of them motherfuckers scared me more. Anyone know where I can get all of Superstars of Wrestling from 85 to 97 and Wrestling Challenge from 86 to 92, Miracle? Is that not on the network? Not the network, but Peacock?
No.
Peacock doesn't have Superstars of Wrestling?
No.
What about the Vault? They've got a lot of...
found.
Wow. I thought for sure they did. The Vault on YouTube doesn't have it?
I don't know. I haven't been on the Vault on YouTube.
I would check the Vault on YouTube. That's another Disney, almost, WWE. It's one of their other channels, and it features all the classic older stuff. Infrared says, I believe him when he says this. He says, I already own the entire library of TNA thanks to Don West. Wow. Infrared, now, for those of you that don't know, I got to actually meet him here for the TV tapings because he's one of, and there is a little bit of a cult following for TNA, that these guys follow him around every city for their TV tapings, man. They're there. And Infrared, I don't know, you probably ain't missed too many, have you? He's definitely been around for more than one, and I got to see him at the one over here. There's also that guy who's famous for being at the TNA events. He's got the leather vest usually. You see him quite a bit, the super fan. His name's Bill. I interviewed him here in Kissimmee. I should have asked him what he did. I didn't want to get too personal with the guy I just met. But, I mean, you got to have some sort of a bankroll to be able to just drop and move, go to another city for a 2-day TV taping, staying in hotel rooms.
Right.
Every month. and then he's at the pay-per-views as well, and he's always front row or second row at the worst. So I'm really curious. I'm curious, Infrared, when you say you own the entire library thanks to Don West, how'd that happen? I wish I had you on screen with us to just tell that story. That's a good story to be heard, I'm sure. Infrared says, I haven't. Once they go live every week, it's a wrap. I don't understand. I'm not sure how you're... That doesn't make sense to me exactly. Miracle assures me he has a life outside of wrestling. It's okay. All right. I'm just worried about you. That's all. You know the old saying, go touch grass. Make sure we're getting some sunlight. Vitamin E is important. They don't have it all on the Vault channel. They just give you episodes here and there. Well, in that case, I don't know where else to find it.
Oh, DVD store.
What, the whole season of it? I doubt it. You'd be better off, locating them one at a time on YouTube, but quality will vary quite a bit.
Yeah.
Clown says, meantime, YouTube is attacking my channel again and removing permissions. You do like to rub them the wrong way, don't you?
I was going to say, he can't win with... Oh.
Infrared got the brown bag
those.
Special. Yeah, I remember those too.
I remember those.
That Don used to have, especially after TNA nearly was sold. So when you got the brown bag special, how many fucking DVDs were in that bag?
Because I remember I was going to buy it a couple times and I never fucking pulled the trigger on it.
After TNA gets this new TV deal, which they are looking to go live every Thursday, I will not be traveling. Oh, good point. Yeah, because like I was saying, it's once a month. Yeah. So for once a month, you have to go somewhere for a weekend.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, once a month, following a wrestling company around, and let's be honest, man, if you're being honest, their product hasn't always been exactly great. It's like, I'll watch that shit, but that shit ain't always great. So, what you probably deeper in the weeds on this one than I am. What TV deal is TNA really looking to get? Because I figured they had to be. It's like Axis never wants to give them up because it's the only fucking show they have that draws anything.
Right.
Otherwise, no, and most of them, nobody has access to Access. So, what's the fucking point in having a product that nobody can watch?
Right. And I think they finally realized with all this crossover with NXT. With them being
now they're being seen.
That and they're like shit. We've got to, we have to.
Suddenly, Scott D'Amore looks like he was right.
Yeah.
D'Amore's over there in Canada right now, going, "Now you fucking want to do it, you assholes!" When I tried telling you,
right.
I do like Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, though. I watch a little bit of that every now and then. Which is basically the old, not old, but, like I said, 22, 23 TNA. That's what Maple Leaf Pro is.
Right.
He's got all those guys that kind of made it cute. I am definitely wanting to see PCO hang it up. I mean, it's getting bad now. Miracle's watching the Survivor Series, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania specials. Okay. Some of those were okay. 20 DVDs in the bag. Holy shit. The rumor is, the rumor is CW or A&E. Well, A&E puts me back into having to keep cable. Access is owned by Anthem, their parent company, which is why they don't want to give it up because A, it is the parent company, and B, it's the only fucking thing on Access that anybody would ever associate watching.
See.
Ooh, John says that the rumor is that WWE wants TNA on Peacock. Hmm.
Now, that I could see, because what I was about to say was I can't see CW having two wrestling programs
Why not?
because they would be competing.
They're not going to run head to head.
No, but
Have one on Wednesday, one
I
on
think
Thursday.
those
What's
two-
wrong with that?
I don't think CW has the wrestling audience yet to try to pull two wrestling shows.
If they don't have it
I
by
watch
now,
it
they're never
because-
going to.
Well,
And not for anything, please tell me, what's the Wednesday night lineup on CW? Exactly. Nobody knows. Because nobody's watching it.
Well, yeah, since Supernatural's been gone for so
I
long,
wouldn't even known that.
Nothing for me to watch. On
Okay, what's the lineup on Thursday night?
I don't know. I watched. I
NXT.
was watching T. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, you know that. And that's my point. I think more people will know what's on CW on Thursday than any other night of the week you want to throw at them. Go up to 5 people on the street randomly, the 4 that don't call the cops on you, ignore them, and just ask them. And I can tell you, you'll be lucky. You probably find people that will at least know NXT or wrestling is on Thursday night. But I don't think anyone's going to tell you what show is on Friday night, Saturday night, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
I think it would do them better being on Peacock if they could get that deal.
It might.
Because the wrestling fans who were there, I would watch it then. It'd give me something to watch on Peacock again, wrestling wise.
Look, going to any other option is better than where they're at.
Yeah.
That's just a
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
Nobody's watching Access because
You're
such a
right.
small amount of Americans have access to that channel.
I wouldn't even know where to get it here.
I can only get it because it's on my cable provider. If they didn't have it, I can't get it. Clown says he saw Billy Red Lions wrestle live in Kingston, Ontario when he was a kid. Well, I'm probably a little older than you because I actually saw Moses go up against Abraham Lincoln. So I got you beat. And that was, when I was in my early teens. DHW's in the house. Says, hello, everybody. He's been a busy boy, too, so he got a lot of stuff going on his channel. Every day I get an update.
Yeah, so do I.
They only want them on Peacock if AAA is included in the deal. Sure, why not? Oh, that's Saturday. I
Exactly.
forgot about that. This Saturday is Triple Mania on YouTube at 9 p.m. Eastern.
But see, that's the thing. It's like, okay, so put TNA on there, have WWE at AAA, because right now, where do I watch AAA? On their YouTube channel. So put them on Peacock. I'd watch them on there.
See, I don't even watch AAA. That's the whole thing. I will probably try to make an effort to watch, although 9 o'clock's kind of past my bedtime. Back to that old person syndrome, Although on my days off, what's been happening a lot is because I sleep like shit, I've been taking these naps around 3 in the afternoon for 2 hours. Problem is I end up waking up at like 8 o'clock going, fuck. And then I'm awake for the duration.
Go. Oh, hi.
Damn, I was getting ready to call the cops. I thought you just got mugged.
No.
I thought you got beat up.
I hang a sign and it doesn't do any good.
Billy Red Lions was one of the hosts of Maple Leaf Wrestling back in the day. So now Maple Leaf Wrestling,
Oh, okay.
Maple Leaf Wrestling versus Maple Leaf Pro that Scott D'Amore is doing now. That's not the same company, is it? It's not like he bought the rights to him or something like that. This is a whole separate entity, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm waiting on Clown. He'll know.
Gotcha.
Dirty Dom wins the AAA championship this Saturday. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't be the worst thing they could do.
No.
DHW says, what did we think of Raw this past Monday? DHW, you late to the party, but we don't watch Raw. I don't watch Raw because I don't have Netflix.
And I've given up on wrestling for right now.
Jay's looking at taking a 10-year sabbatical, which he's done before. Clown.
Maybe not 10 years, but until they get their heads out of their asses, we'll find out.
Oh, so 20 years. Clown says Jack Tunney was the best boss back then, or the boss back then. Yeah, we almost lost Jay. It was close.
I could see Dirty Dom winning, especially being
Yeah.
a four-way match.
Definitely.
And then the rematch between him and Vikingo, I think would be a pretty good match, honestly. Seeing them two go up against each other. Because the match Vikingo had with Chad Gable was fucking phenomenal. And that's sad to say that he had his best match to date on AAA wrestling and not even on WWE programming. Again, WWE, get your head out of your fucking ass.
We like the view.
Yes, he is. Because JBL's been doing a lot of work with them down in AAA, actually. He's cut some hellacious fucking promos because he's doing the whole Texas, we need to secure the borders bullshit, and it's actually really fucking good. So.
JBL has his moments. He was in TNA like 4 months ago, laying people out with the clothesline, but then it never went anywhere.
Yeah.
They never explained it. They never followed up on it. They just kind of, it happened, and then it's, never mind, we're done. That shit.
They gave him enough money to come in, clothesline people, and said, okay, we're good. Thanks.
Oh, well. Got a video I've been sitting on for a while because, with Hogan's passing and all that, I didn't want to show this because it's kind of funny, but wasn't a funny mood that we was in. So now that we're kind of getting our way back into lightening up a little bit here, I saw this probably about a month ago now, and I was just like, I'm not, you hear me trashing AEW all the damn time for spot monkeys. I'm good with this one. Hold on. Got fucking too many things to have to worry about on this. Hold on. No, hold on. Got to resize the fucking thing too now.
That's what she said.
I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard and got you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard and got you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard
and he connects.
I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard and got you.
I was watching it and said, oh, he's just going to flip over the top rope. Did not expect him to land on his fucking feet and keep doing backflips all the way up the
Non-stop.
fucking ramp.
Dude, that right there is crazy talent, man. Crazy talent. Not easy. We were talking about Hulk Hogan a moment ago. I'm happy that a lot of people have been coming out and coming to his defense, like Booker T recently did and Mark Henry did. Mark Henry admitted, listen, when he saw the video and the stuff that he was saying, it hurt. But he also talks about his interactions with Hogan, how he treated him, and none of that stuff that people want to stick to him was true. And Booker's same thing. And I've said it. It's a lot of well-known, well-documented stories about how he fought to make sure Kamala got paid the right money when they weren't going to pay him. They didn't pay him. If you're a racist, you don't do that. You're the number one guy. It ain't going to affect you one way or another. He had no dog in the fight. And he went out there and fought for him. I choose to remember the better moments, and there's more of those. Yeah, I mean, we all know that you could always tell when Hogan was lying, especially at the end of his career, because it's any time his lips were moving. But that all said, there was also this.
Told all my little Hulksters, man, I do a lot of work like with the Dare Foundation that you work with, Starlight Foundation, Make-A-Wish, and sometimes you got to tell them good things, especially when, you know, they're not going to be around too long. I say, hey, little Hulkster, man, someday we're going to wrestle, man. I don't know what your schedule is. I got to go to New York, Tokyo, Japan, Africa, Asia, and all points in between. But someday we're going to be in heaven together, man. I know we're going to be booked in that same town in heaven. And when I come to heaven, you and I are going to wrestle for the WWF title. So I kind of boxed myself in, you know. I made this promise to all these little teeny Hulksters that aren't here anymore, man. They're already waiting on me.
It's kind of weird hearing that now and thinking you got a bunch of people lined up there saying, I've been waiting.
Yeah.
Let's do this. JBL said that it didn't go anywhere with that TNA storyline is because of who the company is. Because of who in the company was gone. Oh. So basically with Scott gone, it went nowhere, which doesn't surprise me.
Right.
I really enjoyed Scott's version of it. And I've talked to people who feel like it's not much different now, and I think it is. Not to say it's bad or unwatchable, and it's coming back around. I do think there was a big lull when he left where it didn't quite resonate. And that's probably got something to do with the fact that a lot of the talent didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
There was a lot of animosity when they cut him loose. Yeah, Clown, look, no one's going to say the man was a saint, least of all me. But you know, we've all done things and all said things that we're not necessarily in our best moments. And I was listening to Stevie Richards. That's my new thing. Stevie Richards damn near all the time now. He's my replacement for Jim Cornette. I haven't listened to Cornette, and I can't even tell you how long. I did listen to his Hulk Hogan podcast, but that.
Yeah, I did watch that one also.
But that's literally it. I haven't watched him in probably a year now, listened to him in a year. Stevie Richards, love his show. Love his show. And he talked about the whole Undertaker thing. And, of course, the Undertaker's talked about the Undertaker thing. And, yeah, was it a dick move? Probably. But like Stevie said on the show I heard today, he was talking about... what's that new show on Netflix? Unreal?
Yeah.
He was talking about Unreal, and they were discussing specifically where Abyss was calling the match for CM Punk and Seth Rollins on the premiere of Raw on Netflix, and it ran 2 minutes long. And that Pritchard gave him a really hard time. And Stevie comes out and says that basically he can't stand Pritchard, never could. He described Pritchard as that guy that you just don't want to be in the room with. Like, just get me the fuck away from this guy as soon as possible. And the fact that Abyss was doing everything in his power, communicating to the referee, telling them they got to cut this spot, they got to cut this one out, we got to go home. And they weren't doing it. They're getting their shit in. But like Stevie says, you don't have to go anytime. You're on Netflix. You can go as long as you want. There have been shows 30 minutes longer, 30 minutes less. You have no time constraints whatsoever. And then it's over, and he's like, oh, it was overproduced, it was overbooked. Oh, no problem. And left Abyss feeling like he was, maybe going to get fired or something,
Yeah. I watched that episode. That was some pretty shitty shit.
Yeah. So
So to speak.
what
I mean,
Stevie was saying though is that, is it a bully tactic? Is it a dick move? Yeah. But that's wrestling. That's you almost have to be that guy to be in wrestling and have any longevity. So when we say that Hogan told The Undertaker, "You dropped me on my head on Tuesday in Texas," he probably sees this guy's coming up. He's going to challenge for my spot, and that's the way they did business back then. If you felt somebody was too big a threat, Shawn Michaels and the Clique, man, they ran Shane Douglas out. Few guys got to fall under the bad wings of the DX and the Clique that got squashed down.
I heard a song today, and when I heard it, I automatically thought of Hulk Hogan. It's called "Good Men Ain't Always Good." The group's called Warn Torn, WARN TORN. Go listen to it and tell me if that does not make you think of Hulk Hogan, because the whole premise of the song is that we may be good people, but we all fuck up. And we fuck up more often than we realize. So for anybody to just dwell on the negative for Hogan, for anybody, is bullshit, because like the Bible says, he who has no sin throw the first stone. We've all fucked up. We've all been there. We've all said shit, done shit. Some of us more than others, but none of us are perfect. So if you can, give that song a listen to, and it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Music, wherever you want to find it. But
probably find it on YouTube.
That song, and that he's the first person I thought of when I listened to it, other than myself, because I ain't no angel. I've done some shit, but it just makes me realize that how petty people's got to be to focus on the negative shit, especially after the man had just passed away.
Yeah,
doing it with somebody's alive is one thing, but the man was gone.
I saw Vince.
Let him go in peace.
I saw Vince McMahon. Who interviewed him? Harvey on TMZ. Did a video conference interview with Vince about Hogan and all that, and mentioned the fact that his last appearance in the WWE, he got booed and all that, and Vince basically said, "I was disgusted. He deserved better than that."
Yeah.
I say I'm disgusted that you guys didn't give him another chance in a red city. You brought him out in California. Right. After Trump wins an election that he went out there and stole the show for. And you think he's not going to get booed? Give him a fair shake, man. Let him come out in Florida and see what happens. If he gets booed out of there, then he did it to himself.
We're over. Yeah. Ohio, Kentucky, one of us around here.
I don't know about Ohio, man. You can't even buy his beer.
I can't buy it because I'm not driving 20 miles to fucking buy a case of beer.
Well, that's my whole point, though. It shouldn't be 20 miles. This is America, damn it. I should have beer at every stop. Every traffic stop should have a beer.
I just live in a very rural part of the state. That's all.
You live in Russia if you don't got beer every friggin' 10 feet. This is America. We drink our beer, damn it. You ever been to a softball game? First base, second base, third base, all got beer.
Yeah.
That's how those guys get around the bases. It was a big low when Scott D'Amore left. The president in between wasn't it. Carlos Silva, current TNA president, which I wouldn't have known that, looks steady to me according to infrared. And again, he would know because he's deep into the product.
Carlos, he's been on with this recent storyline with Trick Williams. winning the TNA championship.
Oh, yeah, that's that dude that had that
He-
sour puss on his face in the audience with the baseball cap on.
Yeah,
All right.
right. Yep, that's him. But
Wow.
he does. He seems like he wants what's best for the company. So
Oh, that's good. Clown and DHW both say,
pretty
you
sure
know,
he's the one
we
that
agree
pushed
that you got to forgive and forget. And yes, that's pretty much. Or at least, maybe not forget, but you have to remember. You got to remember the other stuff,
Right.
like all the Make-A-Wishes and stuff
Yeah.
that like that he did.
yeah,
So, be fair. All right, man. It's getting late. And I think we've
Oh.
covered our topic here tonight, which is the gross, and I do mean gross, abhorrent bastardization of professional wrestling when they're charging $18,000 to sit in an arena live to watch wrestling. And people are paying it. Shame on you.
that's what's gross.
It is. Absolutely is. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up.
wanna
Thank you
do
guys
something
for
good with
being
that
here.
18
What?
No. One thing. One more thing. If
Quickly.
you want to spend $18,000, give it to St. Jude's. Help those kids.
Yeah,
with
that's what I'm saying. If I had
Don't
$5
go
million in
buying
the
a fucking
lottery, I'm
wrestling
not
ticket.
dropping 18 grand on a fucking wrestling ticket. I would find many other uses for that money that are going to do something for other people. But it's you're supposed to be entertainment, and not only that, you're theater. I am not dropping money on a theater show like that. That's insane, but all right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't hit that like button, a few of you did, but there's still more of you out there. Get off the chair, hit the remote control, pick up your telephone, hit the little thumbs up symbol. That's unexcusable. 5 likes. We've been going how long? Let me see this. Hour and 33 minutes. Hour and 33 minutes. Hit that friggin' like button. Love you guys. Mean it. We'll see you next time.
Happy
Right back
Jay.
here on the Nation Network for WrestleChat. Say goodbye, Jay.
Goodbye, Jay.
Goodbye, everybody. Actually watched a little bit of AEW. Not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just the headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Rock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy, and he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and it's finally we had a wrestling match. Finally, we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside in the ring the whole time. One of them
Was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man, I would say, like, for me, like, the best ones, I would say, are, like, the ones where they try to get a certain, like, time.
This is my entire IT team right here on screen.